Wish TV, News 8 and 11 with Phil Sanchez.
Welcome back. Well, one of the big stories today, Hunter Biden has been indicted on federal firearms charges, the latest in a long-running investigation into the president's son. We go UnPHILtered tonight to discuss it with two members of Indiana's best political team, Destiny Wells and Allie Bartlett, once again. Good to see you both. I want to get both of your reactions to the news when it first came out. Allie, we'll start with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first reaction I had to this entire situation is, number one, it's about time, but then also just looking at the irony surrounding this entire situation. So number one, the 3 counts that he's indicted on, I mean, arguably they're the 3 that avoid any conflict with President Joe Biden, which seems to be somewhat ironic. And then the statements made by Hunter Biden's attorney today just were absolute gold in comparison to what's happened on this political witch hunt with President Trump and his indictments. They were talking about how this is a political witch hunt. They were talking about how suddenly they now have enough evidence to charge him on these things. It's the same thing going around and around in circles. And the fact that they are using the same talking points is incredible to me.
Destiny, your response to that?
Well, we have President Biden, 0 indictments, his son, 3 federal indictments, and Donald Trump, 91. I think that, you know, maybe this can resonate with a lot of people in Indiana in that we have a large part of our population that struggles with drug addiction, right? This is those 3 counts. One of the elements in all those hinges on the fact that he knew that he had a drug addiction problem and he was in possession of a firearm and applied for a firearm. You know, these problems plague society, and oftentimes it is regardless of how they were raised. And so this does not escape anybody, even the president's wayward son. This is not a surprise. We've known about this for a long time. He has an ongoing plea deal that can make all this moot in the end. So it's just kind of a sad case all around, but I don't think it's much of a surprise.
Yeah.
These charges are a bit questionable, and I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole of the legalese on that piece. But, you know, we've all known that Hunter Biden has a drug addiction problem.
Yeah, clearly he has some demons, and you know, the Biden administration has been upfront about that. And you feel some sort of sympathy for him and the family, no doubt, when it comes on a personal level. When it comes to the politics of it all, though, Destiny, is there any there?
I mean, there's always going to be there to answer your question quite literally, right? There's always going to be an issue made of this. I think, like on Truth Social today, the former President Trump, who is the front runner for the Republican nomination next year, he was not satisfied that it was about the gun charges. You heard from Senator Braun, our own Senator Braun, that this is reason enough to pursue an impeachment inquiry against the president. I don't really know how he made that logical leap, but people are going to get their mileage out of this regardless.
Allie, to that point, speaking specifically about these charges, isn't that a little bit of a stretch?
What is a little bit of a stretch that these charges would lead to a rightful impeachment inquiry into President Biden. I didn't specifically read Senator Braun's statement, but I believe that the point he was making is that this is coming in the midst of the opening of an impeachment investigation into President Biden that has to do with various other charges that are out there related to Hunter Biden. Like, this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Hunter Biden. We can sympathize over his problems all we want. But the funniest thing I think that came out of this entire scenario today was a quote by one of his attorneys that said something along the lines of, Hunter Biden possessing a firearm was not a threat to public safety, but a prosecutor bending to political pressure is. And I think that is the best thing I have heard out of someone associated with this administration in months, which is really saying something. So first and foremost, we're going to get on the gun issue, and we're going to say that a self-proclaimed crack addict having an illegal firearm is not a public safety threat. So that's a big, bold statement for all these Democrats that are out there saying that we should restrict Second Amendment rights. So there we go on that one. And number two, a prosecutor bending to political pressure is a threat to public safety after everything we've seen, not only related to Donald Trump, but in all these major cities, including the city of Indianapolis, with Democrat liberal prosecutors taking initiative to do absolutely nothing to combat.
Destiny, I'm up against it, so I want to get you in here and let you respond to the alleged hypocrisy of it all. Go ahead, about 30 seconds to you. Wrap us up.
I wouldn't take Hunter Biden's attorney's comments as partisan comments. He's his attorney, right? He's going to zealously represent him as best as he can and make the best arguments that he can in his favor. Yeah, I think that this calls in a little bit of a catch-22 for Republicans. They talk about lax, gun control, and yet when it's the president's son on the chopping block, we want all of the gun control. So which is it? If Hunter Biden has to be made an example, it will be unfortunate. I said this is unfortunate all around, but we'll just watch the law take its course.
Yeah, we will be watching, no doubt about it. Ladies, good to see you both again. Thank you for joining us for Unfiltered. We'll talk to you in the future here soon, the near future, I should say. Thank you.